Good morning and welcome to today's New York City Council vote for the Committee on Immigration. At this time, please silence all electronic devices and no one may approach the dais. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Good morning. I am Councilmember Alexa Aviles, Chair of the Committee on Immigration. Thank you to my committee colleagues who have joined us here today. We have Council Members De La Rosa, Caban, Joseph, Hanif, Botcher, and Brewer. Thank you all for being here today. The committee will be voting on proposed 1412A sponsored by Councilmember Tiffany Caban. Proposed intro 1412A will redefine terms concerning immigration enforcement to account for current enforcement practices and prohibit the maintenance of an office or quarters on property under the jurisdiction of the Department of Corrections by federal immigration authorities. In 2014, the Council passed Local Law 58, which prohibited the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, from maintaining an office at the Rikers Island Detention Facility to enforce civil immigration law. However, Local Law 58 provides the mayor may, by executive order, authorize federal immigration authorities to maintain an office or quarters on property under the jurisdiction of the Department of Corrections for purposes unrelated to the enforcement of civil immigration laws. And on April 8th, 2025, First Deputy Mayor Randy Mastro signed an executive order to allow ICE to maintain an office on Rikers Island. A lawsuit was filed by the council, and the order was invalidated by the New York State Supreme Court due to impermissible appearance of a conflict of interest. Proposed intro 1412A would bar federal immigration authorities from maintaining offices or quarters for any purpose on land over which DOC exercises jurisdiction. It would explicitly supersede any conflicting mayoral executive order or memorandum of understanding entered into by New York City. Finally, it would amend several definitions in the Ad Code to account for current immigration enforcement practices, which has included the expansion of federal agencies tasked to conduct immigration enforcement. We've received ample testimony regarding the harm caused by authorizing a federal immigration office on DOC property. During ICE's previous tenure on Rikers Island, advocates and immigration service providers found immigrants surveilled, intimidated, and coerced into providing information on their immigration and nationality status during uncounseled interviews, which oftentimes led to an immigrant's subsequent detention and deportation. The aggressiveness and volume with which federal immigration authorities moved immigrants into detention proceedings during their time on Rikers Island was alarming. Thanks to the advocacy of immigration service providers and other dedicated professionals, impacted people, and elected officials, ICE was removed from DOC property. With this bill, New York City will continue to protect immigrant communities from enforcement of obsolete and xenophobic federal immigration policies and the agencies that weaponize them. Before I turn to the bill's sponsor, Councilmember Caban, to make a brief statement, of course, I recommend a yes vote on this important bill, of which I am a proud co-sponsor. I want to thank the committee staff for their work on this hearing, including Senior Legislative Counsel Nicole Cata, Senior Legislative Policy Analysis Rebecca Barilla, Principal Financial Analyst Carolina Gill, and Council Finance Assistant Director Florentine Cabor. I'd also like to thank the bill drafter, Senior Legislative Counsel Nicholas Widzowski. Finally, I would like to thank my staff, Chief of Staff Edward Zerna, Deputy Chief of Staff Christina Botego, Communications Director Winnie Marian, and Legislative Fellow Lily Young, and to everyone working in the background to make this hearing run smoothly. And now I turn it over to Councilmember Caban.
Is it on? Thank you. Thank you, Chair, for your leadership. And just thank you to my staff, especially Nomi and Jonah. I have to admit, this is one of the very rare times where I feel really overwhelmed with emotion around a vote and especially the work that we are doing. I woke up today more proud than ever to be a legislator and to be a legislator along y'all. So I am here to, I don't even think I have to urge my colleagues because we have such broad support on this, but to support Intro 1412, the Safer Sanctuary Act. Our sanctuary laws exist for one reason, to keep people safe. The data is clear. Sanctuary counties are safer per capita than non-sanctuary counties. And under the Trump administration, federal agencies that usually have nothing to do with immigration enforcement are suddenly being turned into tools of fear. We have to pass the Safer Sanctuary Act to clarify and strengthen our sanctuary laws so that no one can claim confusion or loopholes. And regardless of which federal agency is being used for immigration enforcement, and that's super key. The Safer Sanctuary Act also stops ICE from setting up offices inside our jails. New Yorkers are already disappearing inside of those walls, and they cannot also become a deportation machine. We are in a terrible time. We've seen seniors beaten, pregnant mothers shackled, children torn away from their parents, including 6-year-olds ripped from their father's arms, and these are kidnappings. These are acts of terror, and they are happening in our city to our neighbors. Fear and terror do not make us safe. Safety comes from community, from solidarity, from fighting for each other and alongside each other. And as we've seen, New Yorkers, proud as hell, strong, defiant New Yorkers, it's an honor to be able to live up to their expectations and support them with laws that can do the same. And the Safer Sanctuary Act is a critical tool in that fight. So thank you to all of the Act's co-sponsors and supporters. And with your votes, your power, and your voices, we're gonna get it passed. We will defend our neighbors, we will keep our families together, and we will keep us safe. So thank you again, Chair.
On with that, I will now call the clerk to call the roll.
Matthew DiStefano, Committee Clerk, Committee on Immigration. Roll call vote on proposed intro number 1412A. Chair Aviles.
Proudly vote aye. Congratulations, Councilmember Caban.
Sorry. Botcher.
Aye.
Brewer.
Yes.
De La Rosa.
Yes.
Hanif. Yes. Joseph.
Aye.
Krishnan. By a vote of 6 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, the item has been adopted.
Thank you, and that concludes this hearing.
Thank you.